It took 4 years to land my dream social media marketing job. I started my social media business in 2022. I made the website. I did all the right graphics, cool transitions on my website, videos, etc. And when I finished, I felt pretty good. Like I felt like I was riding high. Business was slow at first, but that was to be expected. I did door to door. I did emails, anything I could to pretty much get business. After a few months of trying, in the summer of that year, I was able to secure 3 clients. It wasn't that much money going into it, and I felt proud of myself because I'm like, okay, yes, finally. But I didn't have much experience. Before then, I worked as pretty much a social media manager for a clothing brand, and I only did that for a few months. And me doing that, I'm like, oh, I could run my own agency now. As looking back at it now, like it was ridiculous way of thinking, but sometimes you need that delusion to push you to make moves. So after a few months of trying to handle 3 clients with limited experience, I pretty much crashed. And after my clients either stopped paying me or stopped responding, I I quit my business. That first feeling of like a major failure like really got to me. During that time though, I applied for a social media marketing position at a local agency, and I did 3 interviews. The owner seemed like he liked me. Now looking back on it, it was very clear that I didn't have a lot of experience, but the interview processes went so well that I just thought they was just gonna go with me. And I didn't get a response back at all. None. And so I finally hit them back up, and they told me that they went with someone else. And when you have high expectations for something, you just know in your head that you got it, or that you're about to achieve something, and it doesn't happen. It just felt like another failure or another dud. So from there, I had a chance to move to Arizona to pursue a social media marketing career. But this time it was going to be strictly job hunt. I wasn't going to try to grab clients. I had to at least went through 20 interviews, didn't get them. And it was a lot of jobs too. They were ranging from $18 an hour to $80,000 a year. I didn't realize that Arizona was very competitive for a job in that field. And again, it felt like another failure. So with no money, no resources or anything, I had to move back to Cleveland, unfortunately. But instead of being defeated, I was motivated. It felt like a fresh start. Like, all right, I'm back in my city. I know how to navigate this city. Let's get to it. Since I'm coming back having no job, I was rigorously looking for something. I was looking for anything at that point. Something told me to hit up the marketing firm that I previously applied for. I DM'd the owner, and I was just saying, man, if I can just intern, man, I will work for free. I just want to build up my experience. I mean, I really had nothing to lose at the time. So, and I had nothing but free time. I was at my mom's house. I didn't have to worry about bills or anything. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. I'll work for free. So he messaged me, and he was like, can you meet tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, of course we can. So we met at a coffee shop, talked, and come to find out, he was like, man, I was really gunning for you, but I was going with what my team thought, what the team thought was better. He was like, man, if it was up to me, I would have went with you. He said, send me your salary and send me your start date. And I was like, okay, cool. I was on the phone with my mama. I'm like, mama, I made it. I was I was too excited. When I hit him back up with the information he asked me for, nothing. And it went weeks and weeks and weeks with nothing. And then I finally messaged him, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Do you still need me to? And he was like, I'll get back to you. Still nothing. And normally going into my pattern, especially something that I want so bad, which is this career in marketing and social media, normally I would get down. But this time I had no time to get down on myself. Like I'm at my mom's house. I don't have a job. I don't have any. Like I'm gonna take whatever I can. So I decided to chalk that up. Give me another job. Luckily enough, after that, I found a content creator job for a beauty supply store. Went in the interview, got the job the first time. It was little to no money. It was $15 an hour part time. I was making maybe like $200 a week. I was on it. I was editing stuff on my free time when I didn't need to, even though I wasn't getting paid for it. I did that for a month, but it wasn't really paying me what I needed it to pay me. So I decided to look for other jobs. And I got me a nice paying job, great benefits, completely outside of my field. Nothing has nothing to do with social media, content creation, marketing. I was assembling plane parts. I was doing both at the same time. I was doing the content creation for the beauty supply store, and I was working another job. I was tired as hell, but it was what it was. A few things happened with that job that pushed me to go back into my field. The first thing was the mandatory overtime. Trying to do that and do the content creation thing, I knew it was going to be complete burnout. I wouldn't have time for anything. And so I quit Star Beauty Plus. I knew in the back of my head, I know I'm going to continue to look for something in my field. However, I got a little comfortable until they implemented these policies that was a no-go for me. One, no phones. I mean, the phones wasn't that big of a deal for me. It's irritating that they want to lock our phones up like we're kids, but that wasn't the deal breaker for me. The deal breaker for me was the no headphones policy. I don't know how y'all feel about putting together plane parts or if y'all have ever put together parts before. It's not fun. It's boring. And the only thing that really got me through it was the podcast I would listen to and the music I would listen to. Other than that, I'm falling asleep at work. So that kind of pushed me to start going back on Indeed. There was a podcast producer position, and I applied for it. I don't know anything about producing a podcast, but I knew that this is something creative. Part of my job will be content creation and social media strategy. So I figured that would get me through the door. So talked to the owner of the podcast. We had an hour-long conversation, offered me the job on the spot. I was able to negotiate the pay. I was able to get more opportunities for my business because he's going to allow me to work in the office on my business. He even said he's going to throw business my way. So everything was looking good. It was perfect. But based on my past experience, I was like, this is a little too good to be true. So I'm like, before I submit my 2 weeks or even think about quitting, I need everything in writing. And the next day, he gave everything in writing, everything he said he was going to do, kept to his word. And I'm like, okay, we're on board. I say all of this to say this. There's a few points to the story. It's okay to delay your dreams, but never give up on them. Like I said, I had to go back to my mom's house, figure things out, get the content creation job, quit the content creation job just so I can be able to feed myself and be able to do more for myself and be able to handle more responsibility. Persistence will outlast resistance. There's so many times I've been told no. People have not answered their phones. You have to keep going. Make a career out of what you would do for free. I love this. I love social media. I love content creation. I would have done this for free, and I did do it for free. I worked for a Black Coin Market clothing brand in Cleveland, Ohio. Make dope stuff, but I did it for free for months. I do it for free right now. I'm not getting paid from any of this. My subscribers and watch time isn't where it need to be able to monetize any of this. So I don't have any sponsorships, but I'm doing this for free because I love doing it. And I will continue to do it for free even if I didn't get a dime from it. Sometimes you got to push through your feelings. This is the most important part, and this is what got me to where I am right now with the job that I want, my dream social media marketing job. I had to push through my feelings. At first, yes, I did get depressed, but at the end of the day, when my back was against the wall and I didn't have time to be sad, I didn't have time to sulk, I got right to it. And you can do that too. So I just wanted to put this out there because I want to give you some encouragement. If you are going through your series of no's, your series of no callbacks, it's just a phase right now, and you are going to get out of it. Persistence is key. Push through your feelings and get it done.